Hello, ladies, gents, boys, girls. Welcome to Tales with TR. I'm your host, Terry Ryan Jr. Whoa! So, give you some context of where we are right now. I'm watching on TV. They're about to sing the anthem at Game 1 of Oilers versus Panthers. So this will come out inadvertently after Game 1 comes to an end. Who do I think will win? Well, I don't know about Game 1, although I'd go with the Oilers. But so a few of you have asked. I might as well get into it, by the way. Thanks for tuning in. I'm leaving for Toronto in the morning. We're doing some upfronts. Those are for Bell Media. I've never actually done one. It seems like a kind of a promo and a celebration of their shows across all the platforms, it seems to be. Doing a little skit and whatnot. But the next day I'm going to be in Saskatoon for the Alzheimer's Classic. We're raising money for Alzheimer's. It's going to be awesome. Myself, Doug Gilmore, Ally Frady, Andre Waugh, who else? I think Matthew Barnaby. Anyway, there's a bunch of us. Check into it. Just follow my Instagram, Terrorine 2020, and I'll post the stories. Those of you that send me messages on TikTok, I don't even know how to check them. Some people kind of get on me about that, but when I see them in public, I'm like, dude, I don't know how to do it. I just post. I don't even watch TikTok. It's a waste of time. Most of the time, it's a waste of time. So I don't care. I guess I have gone on there for a recipe or whatever. You know, not much, man. If I'm active on anything, it's usually Instagram. Twitter, I just can't do that anymore. It's pure fucking poison. You know, Facebook is turning into poison. So I basically just post there. Everybody seems to have, for some reason, Facebook, everybody seems to be, I know it's not everybody. People are like me that fuck off from it, but God, people are so confident of their political opinion. You know, I like to think I'm a fairly smart, logical guy, and I don't know. It's just to put out your stamp of approval on, you better do this or else. You fucking right-wingers or you fucking left-wingers. Like, guys, most of us are in the middle. Like, and chances are someone you're talking to is a friend or... Why alienate people? I just don't get it. But people are so fucking divisive. I can't even go on there anymore, man. I just post for, I got relatives and in-laws and friends that probably like to see how I'm doing and Penny Lane and whatever else. And I guess for posting for work-related purposes, my podcast, merchandise, Shoresy, books, like all that stuff, you know, my website, all that. Obviously, there's a monetary gain there. But I try not to be in anybody's face about it. And I don't be like asking for this, that, or the other. I just try to post some things. And hey, if you want to check out my new podcast, here it is. But I just find it poisonous. So Instagram is usually, for some reason, I would have thought that would, probably be the last of those options that I'd ever be interested in. But I just post pictures, and generally, I know it's a fake world, but generally people are happy. I don't chase likes or anything. I like posting. I like the interaction on there more than anything, right? And usually in the comments section or whatever, there's just less and less. I hate to keep using the words poison, but on Instagram, I find the path of least resistance. There you go. And a wise man once told me that you may as well choose the path of least resistance. Probably make you happier, right? And there shouldn't be any resistance in social media, but there is. And it seems everybody's a fucking political expert now. And or a complete cynic, you know. And I know most of it's, I was going to say some, probably most is bots, shit like that. But, you know, it's still poisonous. So apologies to people on Twitter that I don't interact with anymore because I just basically don't do it. I don't even scroll through. I don't know what happens on there. And Twitter, I don't have any idea what it's like to even look into my inbox. I don't know where it is. I don't spend any time on it other than posting. So there you go. But anyway, getting back to it, a bunch of you have asked. Lisa, Carl, Dave, Samantha, Ricky, and Pickle D are just some of, I think that's all of you though, that have asked me who I think will win and what will be different this year than last, because it's the same two teams. I think it's tight, and I think the Oilers are in a great position having home ice advantage. I think it really did help Florida last year. Now listen, what I'm saying to you, I'm not saying that by the time you get to the final, everybody's jacked up. Like, there was times, I guess in junior, I'll talk about the Western League, like, really coming out to playing Quesnel, we'd go into Fort St. John or in the Western League, go into Prince Albert or Saskatoon or Kamloops was pretty intimidating. Although I got off on a lot of that, but there were places. In other words, I loved playing in Kamloops, but there was a level. Once I got out there, it was all right. But there was a level of I don't know if you want to say fear, nervous butterflies. I guess it depends. I always kind of welcomed it, but there was points I couldn't sleep in the afternoon. I'm nervous. I'm going in. And the other team having a Swift Current, another one, I just found it hard to play in these buildings, and you'd have to really get your mind around it. And you'd go in and, fucking, I'm going to, like, I always by game time, I was ready. But you got to kind of jack yourself. I think these guys now, like with the Stanley Cup at the end of this round as the reward, I don't think any of the players are like intimidated. So I'm not saying a home ice advantage from the point of view of intimidation, but I am saying if you got them on your side, it fucking jacks you up, man. And the Oilers were right there last year. They nearly fucking came back. I know people go, well, Florida are up 3-0. Yeah, but the Oilers came back from 3-0. So it doesn't really matter how they ended up at Game 7. They got there. That wasn't a blowout like Leafs Panthers. I think it was 3-1, wasn't it? 2-1, 3-1. It was a close fucking game that anybody could have won, but it would have helped, I think, the Oilers if the games were at home. And not only for the momentum of the fans, not only for that. Last change means a lot. Especially in the series, like, because they're trying to line match up. And last year, I mean, I think, they had the Barkov line against McDavid. And I mean, the Oilers can change it up. So it doesn't really matter. You could see 4 different fucking lines completely by the halfway through the first period. So line matching doesn't always work against them. But you got to have someone going against McDavid. And when McDavid and Draisaitl are together, Florida often welcomes that. They'll say, yeah, okay, we'll stick the boys out against 2 of them at the same time. But anyway, I also think at any point against any defender in history, McDavid and Draisaitl are capable of scoring 3 goals in a minute. So, like, we're talking about some of the best elite players of all time and definitely of their era. And then, of course, it takes a team. But the Oilers, they went all year. They I think they had the least hits in the league. And then, you get Kane coming back. You get Frederick. You get Hyman, who's out now, but he got him here or helped get him here, who was leading the playoffs in hits. And, so they're not to be intimidated. As I look at this, Draisaitl just nailed a guy. And McDavid, for like a scorer, a generational scorer, he fucking hits. Like, he does hit. There it is, 1-0 Oil. 30 seconds in, Draisaitl. Look at this, boy. 1 minute and 6 seconds in. So this will be interesting. I think, and hence it's a home game. You can't hear yourself speak. Like I said, the face-off was in their own, in the Oilers zone. Knobloch changed it up, right? You couldn't do that if you didn't have the home game. It's not all about momentum at home, and that's not the reason I always say home helps. It's last change and it's being comfortable. And I just think the Oilers are dialed in. So I'm not just saying it because they're up 1-0 in Game 1. I've said it all year. I picked them at the beginning of the season. And I think home ice advantage will really come in to play. And it's still anybody's fucking game, though. Florida are fucking gritty. Anyway, they're 2 phenomenal teams. This has only happened in my recollection. I know they talked about it but I believe it was the Oilers, Islanders, and then you had the Penguins and the Red Wings. As far as times that this has happened where history will repeat itself and the same 2 teams go to the final back-to-back. Simeon in is that Nawashish? Is this Simeon Jacobish? Used to work for a guy up there. Used to be the chief, Simeon Jacobish. If it is you, Simeon, and Simeon wanted to know if I thought there'd be any fights in the series. I do in the series. I do. I think physicality is going to come into it. And in the playoffs, it's as fucking tough as it ever was, man, with hitting. I really think, look at the games closely. These guys are fucking maiming each other. And the chops and the dirt and the fucking headshots. Hockey, the way I love it. But Physical, I mean. I guess you could do away with headshots, but it's going to happen when people are that intense, man. You just got to, you're getting a few fucking headshots. Some are worse than others. I do. I think it's going to, I wouldn't have been surprised if tonight's game started with fights, just like the Four Nations, but I think it would have been obvious. And Florida, while being tough, I don't think they need to initiate much. They're not going to intimidate the Oilers. I would be wary of starting something that, I'm not saying you can't finish, but because if you start that game, I'm not saying it's not going to be physical, but like fighting right off the bat, like it's one thing in a Four Nations Cup, but in a 7-game series, I just think you got to test the waters. Let it come to you. No matter what side you're on, let it come to you, because it's going to. These guys are going to be running goalies, sparing each other. Both teams' best players are going to get hacked and whacked. The Stanley Cup's on the line. Anyhow, I'm getting a phone call there, guys, from my daughter. It's the last day I'm going to see her for, I know it's only 4 days. When it's Wednesday night. I'll be back here on Sunday night. Anyway, that was as good a place as any. Sorry for the short pod. At least it's something. And I'll be back with a guest next week. I really will. This was busy to say the least, but I hope you enjoyed Ken Reed and Wayne Primo the last couple of weeks. And we're going to get right back to who we got. I forget. We got Brendan Brooks coming up soon. Hopefully, Dougie Gilmore. I'm going to see Dougie in 2 days. And these guys that are really busy, I hate bothering them, but Dougie's a good guy, and we do a few of these together, and I'd love to have him on my pod. I'm sure you guys would too. Most people here, I'm guessing, listening to a hockey podcast, would love to have Doug Gilmore on, and we'll do it real soon. Jeff Merrick as well, as soon as the playoffs are over. Jeff Merrick's a great hockey mind, man. I can't wait to get him on. Anyway, folks, thanks for listening. If you're downtown St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador, and you want to go for a beer, you want to go for a coffee, just check out George Street. Why not stop at Trinity Pub? Why not stop at TJ's? It's Turkey Joe's, TJ's. Rob Roy Confusion, the Martini Bar, Green Sleeves, and of course the Bull and Barrel. If you're going to go for a bite to eat, why not try the Loose Tie? Why not try Blue on Water? And of course, Woodchuck Cafe. You also do catering. If I was going to work out and I wanted strength and balance for the body and mind, I'd look no further than Rope Walk Lane. Ryan Power Conditioning, strength and balance for the body and mind. 2 locations of Mr. Lube here in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. One's on Kenmount Road, one's on Torbay Road. Live, laugh, lube. Crown Cabinets, check it out. Why not? Muggsy jeans. I loves me Muggsy jeans. They're so comfy. I'm getting on a plane tomorrow. I'm wearing my Muggsy jeans. It's like wearing pajamas, man. They stretch. They're so comfortable. Check it out, folks. I swear by me Muggsy jeans. True hockey. Take what's yours. And of course, GS Construction, laying the groundwork for your community. Carpet Factory, laying the carpet for your community. Folks, we'll be back in just a couple of days with more Tales with TR. Thank you very much for tuning in. Talk soon.